Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Whatever it is, your time zone across the world. It is Motivational Wisdom Time. Today, I'm going to educate you so you can grow and lead. A fundamental principle I use in my management consultant services. We're going to start off with a scripture as I always do. Taken from Mark chapter 8, verse 25. Then he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored and saw everyone clearly. Today we're going to examine the word clarity and how it relates to the practical and biblical principles for spiritual growth. In essence, clarity is the quality of clearness with enlightenment. Clarity is further defined as brightness, splendor, free from obscurity and easy to understand. Comprehensibility of clear expression. Uncloudedness, accuracy, emission of light, appropriateness, articulation, atmospheric visibility, care, coherence, transparency, consistency, dignity, directness, evidence, fluency, intellectuality, and freedom. In the business world, it is called comprehension and consistency. A key leadership quality, insight, and ability to build relationships and communicate appropriately. It is a leadership quality that defines the ability to evaluate and re-evaluate for successful outcomes with a definitive target for sustainability. The clarity has a direct connection between comprehension and consistency in the ability not only to see, but understand a circumstance and the ability to take the right direction, handling with care. The clarity has both a positive and negative approach, known by the platforms, outcomes within the surrounding and global atmospheres, effect on organizations or groups, and effect on people. In the context of the scripture, Jesus Christ teaches an important lesson on perception and clarity. I would like to pause for a moment here and give you some insight into the previous verses and the latter verse around this particular verse opening up in motivational wisdom. Jesus comes into the town of Bethesda, and the people begin to beg him to heal this blind man. Jesus looks at the blind man. He takes the blind man and leads him out of the town, out of the situation that he was in. He spits on his hand. He touches the blind man's eyes, and he asks him, "What does he see?" Now the blind man's response was, "I see man as walking trees." Then Jesus, he touches him again on the eyes, and he commands him to look up. And he asks him, what does he see? His eyesight was restored completely, and he saw everyone clearly. So, it is at this point, Jesus gives this man a second command. Now, I believe that it was the stress of the situation that the man was in for so long, that the perception and what he was seeing was cloudy, that he seen men as walking trees. So he had a choice when Jesus commanded him to look up. And basically Jesus was saying, look up and look again. He had a choice to either do that or to stay in the state of the situation that he was in. Because he obeyed the command of Jesus, his sight was restored. He was healed. He was healed from his blind state. And something that Jesus tells him at the latter part, after he's healed, Jesus speaks to him himself, and he said, do not say nothing to anyone, and do not return into the town from where you came from. He told him to go to his own house. So, it is at this point that Jesus teaches people and leadership the importance of knowing oftentimes you will have to try again, look again with an open mind to see clearly. For instance, personally, I call this the view above the fog. It is the ability with a mindset, even when the peripheral view sensation seems to sway away from the actual development of growth stem, to redirect the visualization by looking up and around the vague picture. Therefore, the stress magnitude is decreased of the expectation to release a clearer vision. This vision is possible even with a disability insight, to see above and beyond the circumstance, just by trying again to be restored. Thought to ponder. Blindness to reality at times is like fog and the early morning dew. At first glance, the fog overshadows the perception. But once the fog diminishes, clarity comes with a different view. It is an in-depth ability to know a person can be blinded in the mind from reality because the perception is cloudy or falsified from the familiarity of the situation. But once the spirit, heart of a person desires to see beyond the shadow, it is like the freshness of dewdrops that falls in the morning with enlightenment. Clarity will come. It is at this point the reality of the situation will either take a turn for growth and development or regression because of fear of the unknown. At this level, clarity is a directive which takes the forefront to comprehend what is necessary to move forward to positively transform yourself and situation for the greater outcome. Do not wait too late to move forward. Your life might depend on it. What lessons can be learned about clarity, comprehension, and consistency? There are 5 important lessons. Discovering the truth and know how, what, and does clarity transform positively? Lessons learned about clarity, comprehension, and consistency. 1. No clarity unveils clear vision with an in-depth look beyond perception. It is transformation from sight mindset to reach the core of the heart. Clarity has transparency and the level of comprehension for a person to positively change. How is clarity revealing meaningful purpose in my life? What do I see in myself evident to others? Is it good or bad? Does clarity transform positively? Can I honestly evaluate myself beyond perception to value personification to determine effective growth? Self-examination and the power of visual perception. 2. Know a person's ability to true clarity has a healing process from the inside out. Clarity faces reality, positions oneself for resiliency and development, and reserves the right to ownership of direction from the enlightenment process. All clarity is not shared because the vision is for a set time. Not all people can appreciate the vision. Therefore, minimal information is given only to trusted individuals and the process of change. How will I guard the direction for growth and transformation? What will I do? Move forward or backward? Does clarity transform positively? Is the atmosphere in the inner circle of influences conducive for positive growth? Yes or no? Defining purpose and growth. 3. No true clarity unveils the heart of a person to change for the greater impact globally. Clarity has what is called pressure points. It reveals those things or people causing stress with a solution to reevaluate, stimulate, and improve health. Now, there is good stress and bad stress. Good stress is known as growth and development boosters. Bad stress is known as depreciation of the mind, body, and spirit, having an effect on the total health of a person. Let's reiterate. Good stress is a producer of life. Bad stress is a distractor of life. But all stress must be managed appropriately to have balance. How is stress affecting the growth development in my life? Is it good or bad? What change can I make to manage stress for clarity to come to move forward and purpose? Does clarity transform positively? Does the molding of my character produce positive growth and change? How will I humble myself to hear God's wisdom and all sincerity, to see beyond the perception, to discern a different and greater view of change, to transform for the greater in life? Reflect. Past, present, and future. Managing stress and the power of discernment. 4. Know the true outcome of clarity is the comprehensibility and articulation to turn a situation from bad to good without losing integrity in the process. This is called the testing phase. Life always brings testing. The testing is the willingness first to resolve the problem from within oneself to bring resolution from the interior to the exterior, known as reevaluation, by removing oneself, circling back to discover clarity, and moving forward for growth. What is the revelation of this? Sometimes teams, organizational structures, and personal discussions pertaining to clarity will have a temporary resolve, the Band-Aid fix. However, true clarity will come from the step away of the problem or situation. Clarity will either be accepted or rejected. The down spiral effect of not moving forward from the best resolution is chaos. How is the comprehension of a situation affecting my ability of growth? What is true clarity worth to me? Does clarity transform positively? Overall, does the norm of culture outweigh clarity and transformation? The ladders of growth. 5. Truth is always revealed, and the level of a person's ability to change for the greater in society, impacting lives positively. No clarity main purpose is to reveal, heal, and restore. How is the consistency of clarity transforming? What evidence of effectiveness is relevant in relationship building, personal growth, and development? Does clarity transform positively? Can clarity change the direction positively? Can clarity be seen in depth? Can clarity to produce growth to transform? The ladders of growth. In closing, no clarity unveils the depth of vision. No clarity reveals growth opportunities. No clarity unveils leadership ability in following instructions. Know the levels and magnitude of clarity takes godly wisdom to position oneself for resilience. Know you will either accept or reject true clarity. Know a person's character is unveiled through the process of clarity and the development. No positive clarity transforms culture norms to growth and development cycles. No true clarity shift the atmospheres, whether good or bad. No, you are not a product of the environment. You are not a product of life trials, and you are not a product of people. Remember, an environment of life is a progressive climate and culture of growth. Change your environment if needed. Change your view if needed. Speak life, grow, and lead. You have value, you have worth, you have purpose. Does clarity transform positively? This is Lady Cynthia R. Kelly tuning off with motivational wisdom. Be blessed and stay connected to Jesus. And remember, you can book Lady Cynthia Kelly by going to www.destinedforgreatwork.org for any of the motivational wisdom e-learning series. What do you see beyond perception?